video, we are going to revise the chapter Light, Reflection and Refraction. Light is a form of energy which enables us to see things. In this chapter, we will study about the phenomenon reflection and refraction by using the property straight line propagation. It means light always travels in a straight line. It is also called as rectilinear propagation of light. So let us study about reflection of light. When the light is allowed to fall on certain substances such as mirrors, most of the light gets reflected back. It has two laws, that is, let us consider AO as incident ray, OB as reflected ray and ON as normal drawn at the point of incidence. Here, the angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. And the next law says the incident ray, reflected ray and normal drawn at the point of incidence all lie on the same plane. Now let us study about image formed by plane mirrors. Mirrors which have plane surfaces are called as plane mirrors. The image formed by plane mirrors are virtual and erect. Virtual is nothing but the images which cannot be caught on screen. Erect is nothing but upright. Laterally inverted. It means the right side of the object appears to be on the left side of the image. The size of the image is equal to the size of the object. It is same size and same distance. It means the distance between the mirror and object is equal to the distance between mirror and image. Now let's see about reflection of light by spherical mirrors. Mirrors whose reflecting surfaces are curved inwards or outwards spherically are called as spherical mirrors. We can take an example of spoon. The curved surfaces of spoon can be considered as spherical mirrors. We have two mirrors, concave mirrors and convex mirror. In concave mirrors, the reflecting surface is curved inwards. When the light ray falls on these surfaces, after reflection they meet at a point, so they are also called as converging mirrors. In convex mirror, the reflecting surface is curved outwards and when the light ray falls on these surfaces, they diverge. So therefore, they are called as diverging mirrors. Now let us see some basic terms related to the spherical mirrors. We have principal axis. It is the line joining the center of curvature and pole. Pole is the geometrical center of the spherical mirror. Aperture is the width of the reflecting surface of the spherical mirror. And center of curvature, it is the center of hollow sphere of which this mirror is a part. And the radius of curvature is the distance between center of curvature and pole. Principal focus, it is a point on principal axis where all the parallel rays meet after reflection. And focal length is the distance between principal focus and pole. Relation between focal length and radius of curvature is focal length is the half of radius of curvature. Now let's see about the position, nature and size of the image by spherical mirrors.
Image formation by concave mirror. If the object is placed at infinity, then the position of the image is at focus, size of the image is highly diminished and the nature is real and inverted. If the object is placed beyond center of curvature, then the position of the image is between F and C. Size of the image is small, then the nature will be real and inverted. If the object is placed at center of curvature, then the position of the image will be at center of curvature. Size of the image is same as that of the size of the object. The nature is real and inverted. If the object is placed between center of curvature and principal focus, then the position of the image is beyond center of curvature. Size of the image is enlarged. It is real and inverted. If the object is placed at principal focus, then the position of the image is at infinity. Size of the image is highly enlarged and the nature is real and inverted. If the object is placed between principal focus and pole, then the position of the image is behind the mirror and size of the image is enlarged. Nature is virtual and erect. Image formation by convex mirrors. If the object is placed at infinity, then the position of the image is at principal focus and size of the image is highly diminished. Nature is virtual and erect. If the object is anywhere between infinity and pole of the mirror, then the position of the image is between pole and principal focus and size of the image is very small. Nature of the image is virtual and erect.
Let us see some of the uses of concave mirrors. Concave mirrors are used in shaving mirrors to get the large image of the face. They are used in torches, headlights of the vehicle, used by dentists to view the large image of the teeth. Convex mirrors are used in rear view mirrors. They help in viewing the large area. Now let's see about the sign convention for reflection of spherical mirrors. To find the position, nature and size of the image, the object is always placed to the left side of the mirror and the distance is always measured from the pole. Here pole is taken as origin and x-axis as principal axis. The distance measured from the origin to the right side is always taken as positive and the distance measured to the left side of the origin is taken as negative. Distance measured above the principal axis is taken as positive and distance measured below the principal axis are taken as negative. Now we have mirror formula. It states 1 by f is equals to 1 by v plus 1 by u. Here f is the focal length, which is distance between principal focus and pole. V is image distance, u is object distance. Let's see about magnification. It is a ratio of the height of the image to the height of the object. It can also be written as the negative of the ratio of image distance by object distance. By substituting 1 and 2, we will get h dash by h is equals to minus d by u. If the value of m is greater than 1, then the image is magnified. And if the value of m is equal to 1, then the image is same size that of the object. And if the value of m is less than 1, then the image is diminished. Now we have refraction of light. When the light travels from one medium to another medium, it changes its direction due to its change in speed. This phenomenon is called as refraction of light. For example, the light is traveling from air to glass, that is from rarer medium to denser medium. The light bends towards the normal, and if the light is traveling from denser medium to rarer medium, the light moves away from the normal. It has two laws. The first law says the incident ray, refracted ray and normal drawn at the point of incidence all lie on the same plane. And the second law states it is the ratio of the sine of the angle of incidence to the sine of the angle of refraction is equals to constant. Mathematically, we write it as sin I by sin R is equals to constant. Here constant is nothing but refractive index of the second medium with respect to the first medium. Now we have spherical lens. The material which are bound by two surfaces of which one or both are spherical are called as spherical lenses. We have two spherical lenses, convex lens and concave lens. Convex lenses are bulged outwards. When the light travels through these lenses, they converge or they will meet at a point. So they are also called as converging lens. In concave lens, they are curved inwards. When the light travels through them, they get diverged. So they are called as diverging lens. Image formation of spherical lenses are similar to that of spherical mirrors, which you can see on your screen. Lens formula states 1 by f is equals to 1 by v minus 1 by u. Here f is focal length, v is image distance and u is object distance. The relation between focal length and radius of curvature, that is f is equals to r by 2. Magnification of a lens is the ratio of height of the image to height of the object. It can also be written as v by u. Here v is image distance and u is object distance. If the value of m is greater than 1, then the image is magnified. If m is equals to 1, then the image is same size of the object. And if m is less than 1, then the image is diminished. Power of lens P is equals to 1 by f means power of lens is defined as the reciprocal of focal length. The SI unit of power of lens is diopter.